Sparkers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I really appreciate your tap today. I really do. So Jeffree Star has released this big post because it has been a year. It has been a fucking year. If anyone knows BTS, there's a video with Namjoon where he says that. If any BTS army out there, just know I'm one of you and I love you. Since 2016. So he's released this big post because he moved to Wyoming and completely changed his lifestyle over 1 year ago now. So he has done a post with a bunch of photos from the past year and has opened up and talked about it, and Shane Dawson is in the comment section responding to him, talking about it. And it just made me think, like, wow, since Jeffree moved to Wyoming, like, it really cut off all sense of Jeffree Star in the media. Now, one thing I do want to touch upon quickly before we get into his social media posts, and this is one of the pictures that we are so godly blessed with, is he recently has kind of been taking a detour from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Now, this was very predictable because Jeffree Star Cosmetics has had a great legacy. I'll give it that. It has had great products and had great legacy. And I think you can even argue that it still has amazing legacy. It was one of the first YouTuber brands to really hit mainstream and succeed. And Jeffree was consistently known as being problematic, but consistently known for releasing great products. And it was always a case of, you know, people were torn because they were like, oh, we have all these horrible things he's done, but his products are really good. And that's why they were always selling, always a sellout. He was always very creative with, this is my positive portion of the video, let's get this over and done with. He was always very creative with his releases, and he was always known as the person who was willing to push the boundary in terms of what he thought was content at a time on YouTube, but specifically focusing on makeup. You know, he basically succeeded his brand, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, in a time where Kylie Cosmetics was also doing the rounds and succeeding its peak, and it would only further re-peak, but Kylie Cosmetics was really getting the traction around this time. And that was because of the lip kits. And then she started venturing out into more of the neutrals makeup-wise, you know, where it was products that everyone could use and brush sets. And she was known as safe makeup. Now, she was the person that you went to for good makeup that was safe. But Jeffree was the person that you went to for good makeup that was not safe. And I don't mean product-wise, I mean not safe coloring. Like, he was always extreme colors, and no one in the market at that time was doing it because it was too daunting, because no suppliers wanted to put a lot of money into a palette that was rainbow whenever the most popular makeup trends back then were smoky eyes. But Jeffree was definitely one of the transitional YouTubers who influenced that heavily within the market space, and I'll give him that. But in recent years, obviously as a brand goes, Jeffree Star Cosmetics has taken a nosedive, and I think after its peak of the conspiracy palette, people lost interest in the brand, and also there wasn't really much that Jeffree Star Cosmetics could do that could reinvent itself. It had already done every color palette individually, like an orange palette, a green palette, a blue palette. Then it had, you know, the ones where it was mixing it up. Then he had his neutral ones. Then he came out with a palette that was called Orgy, that we called it, what did we call it again? Ogre. We called it the Ogre palette. If anyone, oh my god, if anyone is watching my channel who watched last summer and you know the Ogre palette, it was how we got around saying Orgy. I fucking love you. Allegedly. And Allegedly Bear loves you. If you've been around for that amount of time, I respect it. I don't know how you've done it, but I respect it. So he's basically done everything in terms of releasing palettes. So there's really nothing he can do within the makeup space that will reinvent itself in a way that I think he'll ever get incredible success in Jeffree Star Cosmetics again. You know, he's released brushes, he's done collabs with Morphe, he was dropped by Morphe, and he's done all of it. However, for some reason, he's still continuing to release new palettes. There's still a customer base there, but it never sells out. You'll never see a sold-out Jeffree Star palette. You'll never see a Jeffree Star sold-out release anymore. It just doesn't happen. There's so many units that are probably wasted, and it's why Jeffree Star now, never really back in the day, but heavily now, relies on mystery boxes. Mystery boxes is a case where he can basically be like, if you've already bought my palette, get the mystery box and you don't know what you're going to get. A mystery box is basically all the products throughout the year that aren't selling thrown into one box and maybe one new item. It's a way of getting rid of old stock, and it's what Jeffree, and especially Shane, but it's not surprising because they're all in Killer Merch, which is Jeffree's merch company, are part of and doing. So Jeffree's new venture is Jeffree Star Pets. I think this is genius. I think it's genius. And I have no problem praising that. I think Jeffree Star Pets could be something big if his reputation was better. Because Jeffree is known for many things. And one of the lesser known things, but still enough, is those little yappy dogs. I love dogs. Pomeranians are a lot for me to handle. And Jeffree has like 100 of them. I don't know how he looks after them. I would assume the assistants do. No shade. Listen, taking care of 2 dogs, I know, is a lot. I don't know how you take care of like 12 and are traveling the world. I have to like plan my trips with like, if I can get them, you know, babysat and stuff like that. It's a lot. It's a long process. But Jeffree is known by a lot of people for all of those little yappers. And no other, from my memory, YouTuber is going full force with a pet company. So he's releasing pet collars, pet leashes, pet toys. It's a very small first launch, but he seems very excited about it, and it makes a lot of sense with Jeffree to completely rebrand from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And it's really weird. If you buy something from Jeffree Star Pets, a free makeup item comes with it. Like, he's just trying to get rid of stock at this stage. But I think that this is the business venture that he's probably going to stay consistent with, because it's a completely new field, new audience, new demographic. You know, it's pretty common that you'll know somebody has a dog. So, Jeffree Star Cosmetics Pets, you know, you can get them something for their dog. Their dog doesn't wear eyeshadow. Maybe the adult doesn't wear eyeshadow. It's a new business venture. And I do think it's a clever one. It'll be interesting to see how the sales do. Fuck. What time am I filming this at? 1 a.m. It's not even late for me. What the fuck? I'm just so excited to talk. I'm interested to see how the sales do. Nothing is sold out right now, and it has been a while since the launch. I'm actually surprised at that. We don't know how many units they got, but I just think there's no hype around Jeffree these days. But we'll look at this post. So he put this on his Instagram with this first picture. We're seeing it. And the caption reads, "Happy 1-year anniversary since I officially moved to Wyoming." Sorry, hashtag Wyoming to get the influencer life. "And started the Star Yak Ranch." He has all the yaks. He has a ranch now. He's a farmer. He traded the Louis Vuitton for farming boots. Completely new life, apparently. "Life is about finding your true purpose, learning and constantly growing. 2021 has taught me so much about myself, and I am forever grateful." So this is the first picture. We're going to quickly go through the picture selection that we have from Wyoming, because there's some interesting pics. So here we see his car with Wyoming in the background. This isn't one of the ones I'm focusing on, though. I'm focusing on this particular picture that we have. Where is it? Okay, so we have a car picture. We have him with a chicken. This isn't what I'm focusing on, but he's selling us his new farmer life. Very interesting. I would have never seen Jeffree Star as that. He's been saying that this is his true purpose, but it's like we've never seen him really with that before. This is the picture that is just so alarming to me. Can we take a moment, please? I'm like quivering. I'm scared. I'm terrified, actually. I'm like scared. So anyway, this is Jeff's new life. He is now a farmer. He's into this. He has his yaks. He's now a pet shop. And we have, I think, one more picture here. So we have him in Wyoming. Now, I want to say something. And I don't mean this to be controversial. Jeffree went through a pretty traumatic car accident at the start of the year. It was disastrous. For his body, for his friend's body. It was intense, right? Now, in the most respectful way, the healing of that was a very quick turnaround. Like, Jeffree was put in a back brace, and within a couple weeks, I would say less than that, he was seen up and about going to places, like just walking around as normal. And now, I'm not putting any conspiracy theories out there, even though we do talk about Shane in a second. I'm not. But it's just so surprising to me that he went through that car accident and was able to be up on his feet, driving his car again, which is something that really is not advised after a spinal injury, and living his life and just, feeling as great as ever from what he's telling us. It's very interesting. It was a very short-lived thing. Again, I'm not going to say anything further because I don't really feel the need to speculate, but I do just want to say that please take note of how intense that car crash we were told it was, and how quick the recovery was. And the recovery normally isn't that quick. And also, the doctor told him in that moment that the recovery wouldn't be that quick. But within literally less than a couple of weeks, he was driving his car again, showing us him walking around going to parties. And it's like, he was going to like car race parties. Anyways, so Shane Dawson commented on, oh, sorry, one last one. We see him in the axe. Take it all in. Okay, him in the axe. Fabulous. I would love to know what conversations Jeffree Star is having to the axe, because I know that motherfucker talks to them. He's probably opening up about his YouTube life to them. Okay, so here we see the axe again. Now, I do just want to say that for Jeffree saying that this is like his true purpose and stuff, it's interesting that he never once mentioned it, but it's very well known that farming is something that a lot of businessmen go into because you can get like business write-offs as farming land, and if you're registered as a farmer, you pay less tax, and it's very shady business-wise that way. I don't mean shady, but like, it's a common known thing that that's a lot of ways people go around money and tax, and especially getting farm animals, and if you register yourself as a farmer and farmland. So it's his newfound passion he never really talked about. But here we see him, and the love of his life, the yak, went from Nate to this. And so Shane commented on it and said, "So proud of you and so incredibly grateful to know you." Now, it's just interesting as well to me how much Shane and Jeffree have fallen off, because this was posted 5 hours ago and it's not even getting 200 likes. Like, there was a time when millions of people were waiting at the crack of that button on that website to get a palette of both of these men. Now there's like less than 200 people interested. So anyway, I do just want to say, in terms of Jeffree, it does seem like he's taken the approach of being out of at least drama. Now, that'll come with changing who you surround yourself with. I don't doubt that Jeffree's still being shady and equally terrible behind the scenes. However, credit where credit is due. People were asking for Jeffree to show change. And I mean, what other way to do it than become a farmer? As extreme as that is, he fed into it. And you know, Shane then quickly followed suit with that. And he also got like a farmhouse and now has animals and wants more animals. And it's just definitely interesting to me, this wave of YouTubers where it was kind of like last summer was the pivotal moment that was too much. Now we're all farmers. So I want to know your opinion on the fact that he's now kind of been gone, really, and irrelevant in the most respectful way for over a year now, and has really committed to this life. And what do you think about it? And what do you think about Jeffree Star Pets and him kind of taking a detour from Jeffree Star Cosmetics? I think it's really interesting, and I think hot on the heels of all of the lack of selling out and apparently madness happening at Jeffree Star Cosmetics with employees and all this mess, it seems very convenient. But hey, people wanted him gone and he gave it. So I want to know your opinion. We'll talk about it below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having the best day ever. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. One last one. Allegedly. Bye.